वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयन्ति। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। So continuing with the discussion of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, entitled The Divisions of Faith. Text number 17 onwards. So three kinds of faith Krishna has described, and three modes, in three modes. So, and rest everything he is describing in three modes. So, in fact, today's verse goes with the tapa, austerity. Text number 17. Shraddhya parya taptam tapas tat trividham nara afalakanksha bhiryukta satvikam parichakshate. This threefold austerity, performed with transcendental faith by men not expecting material benefits, but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme, is called austerity in goodness. So austerity is also of three kinds. So we studied about food, we studied about penance in three kinds, and now charity also we studied in three kinds, and now austerity in three kinds. Performed with transcendental faith by men not expecting material benefits but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme is called austerity in goodness. But then this is austerity in goodness, but then there is a transcendental austerity which is even beyond goodness, which is performed only for the service of the Lord. Here, transcendental faith by men not expecting material benefits, okay, but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme. But there's another one, better one, is doing only for the Lord. Even though there could be benefits, material benefits, but he uses it only in the service of the Lord. So that becomes transcendental austerity. Satkaramana pujartham tapo bandambhena chevaya kriyate tad ihi proktam rajasam chalamadhruvam. Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in the mode of passion. It's neither stable nor permanent. So austerity of penance performed for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship. This is what happens. We try to gain respect, honor, and worship. Sometimes penance and austerity are executed to attract people and receive honor, respect, and worship from others. Persons in the mode of passion arrange to be worshipped by subordinates and let them wash their feet and offer riches. Such arrangements, artificially made by the performance of penances, are considered to be in the mode of passion. The results are temporary and they can be continued for some time, but they are not permanent. But this mode of passion, austerity, or penance, or tapasya done, is more prominent in the material world. Because this is what people are after: honor, respect, worship, some kind of profit, adoration, distinction. In fact, Krishna also, when we perform devotion service, it's a big time austerity actually. We are, in this, we don't have to go to Himalayas to perform austerity. But sitting at home, chanting, instead of watching TV, going to the temple instead of going to movies or mall or other activities, talking about Krishna instead of talking about mundane topics, reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam instead of reading other literature, abundance of other literature and other activities. So what Krishna does, now he has to test us also. So he gives this honor, respect. Now if there is any tinge in the heart, even a little desire in the heart to be honored, to be respected, that I should be respected. Just like I have a picture of Prabhupada behind me. Just like Prabhupada was respected, Prabhupada was honored, Prabhupada was worshipped. I should also be like that. But then that means, of course, that means we have to cleanse our heart more. It will take some more long time. At the same time, we have to understand we are not at the level of Prabhupada. Not at all, not even close. The kind of service he did, the kind of austerities he performed, the kind of risks he undertook. We cannot even do 1% of what he did at that age, beginning at 70 years. Even before, when he was in Vrindavan, he took sannyas, then he was coming to Delhi, he was getting Bhagavatam printed, and then he was distributing Bhagavatam alone, single-handedly. And then going back to Mathura and writing more purport, and then coming back again. It's a huge austerity. Right now, our austerity is what? To take the books already published by BBT, already written by Prabhupada, published by BBT, nicely packed, comes to our houses or our offices, comes to our car in nicely packed boxes, in our air-conditioned car. All we have to do is drive that car to some place, and where we can just, I mean, persons like me, when we used to distribute books, it was like we set up a nice table. It's not like we are running around on the street or on the road and catching all the cars. We are standing there nicely and calling everybody to come. We were so lazy and thinking we are doing austerity and we should be respected. It's only Prabhupada's mercy. It's only mercy of Krishna that we are somehow connected with Prabhupada. He is giving us some honor, some respect. But we have to understand, actually it all belongs to Prabhupada. That's why whenever we greet each other, we say, please accept my humble obeisances. And then we say, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Actually, all glories belong to Srila Prabhupada only. When we do very little austerities, very little, for us it's huge, actually. We are so fallen. We think we are doing great austerities. Ekadashi Vrat, even we cannot perform properly. We have to have so many of wonderful dishes that we can eat on Ekadashi. So anyway, so whatever austerities, even still, whatever we are doing, Krishna will test us even for those austerities. Does he want any honor, respect, worship, power, position, money? He will give. So first of all, we have to understand it all belongs to Prabhupada. And then here Prabhupada is writing, the results are temporary and they can be continued for some time, but they are not permanent. And whatever honor, respect we get, it's all temporary. So we should not be attached to it, and we should know who's the right recipient of it. And then even if we get honor, respect, we will humbly accept it as a service to Srila Prabhupada. Then we will not get distracted by that respect and honor. It's just like once there was a sculptor, and he used to make nice murtis, and he had a donkey. So he would load up those murtis on the back of the donkey and take them to other villages to sell. But now, when the sculptor is taking those murtis on the donkey's back, and so many villagers are coming by and passing by on the road, and they would see the murtis of different demigods and Radha Krishna also. So they would, out of innocence and out of simplicity, they would pay respect, and the donkey would think that they are paying respects to him, and he would be very happy, and he would very loudly, he would be braying, and oh, he was very happy. And then the sculptor went to other villages and he sold all the murtis. On the way back, there was empty sack on the donkey's back. And the villagers were there on the road, but now nobody was paying respect. And the donkey was crying and he was braying, and the sculptor took up his stick and he beat up the donkey. You nonsense ass! What's wrong with you? Why are you making so much of sound? So this is what our problem is. Whatever little austerity we do, it's very little. Let's remember that. But because of mercy of Prabhupada, and Krishna recognizes that, he still gives us some honor and respect and worship and power and position and prestige and some profit. But then we should understand it. Actually, it all belongs to Prabhupada. But if we don't understand, then when he takes it away, it really hurts. It really hurts to the extent that sometimes people even leave devotion service, not understanding who the honor really belongs to. So this point we have to really get ingrained in ourselves. Whatever qualifications we have, whatever capabilities we have, whatever austerities we have performed, whatever achievements we have achieved, it's only by mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It's only by mercy of Krishna because we are somehow connected with Prabhupada. Otherwise, there is no qualifications we have. In fact, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings one of his bhajans, Yogyata vichare kichu nahi paaye tomar karna sa. He's praying to his guru that when I look at myself and qualifications I have, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I have none. Tomar karuna sa. Your mercy is the essence. Your mercy is everything that I am made up of. So austerity is required. We have to perform austerity. Not the austerities of going to Himalayas, but whatever Prabhupada has told us to perform, we should perform. We have to perform properly. But while performing those austerities and those services, we have to keep it in mind. Whatever I'm achieving is by mercy of Prabhupada. Nothing else. Text 19. Mudgrahena atmano yad pidya kriyate tapaha parasyut sadhanartham va tat tamasam udahritam. Penance performed out of foolishness, with self-torture, or to destroy or injure others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. There are instances of foolish penance undertaken by demons like Hiranyakashipu, who performed austere penances to become immortal and kill the demigods. He prayed to Brahma for such things, but ultimately he was killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To undergo penances for something which is impossible is certainly in the mode of ignorance. So Hiranyakashipu, although he performed great austerities for 100 celestial years, 100 years of demigods, he just stood on his toe with the hands raised up, and his whole body was eaten up by ants. Somehow he had saved his soul in the bones of his body. And when Brahmaji appeared, what did he want? For 100 years, he didn't do any sense gratification. There were no senses left anywhere. What to do, what to think of sense gratification. He didn't even think of anything wrong. He was only praying for the mercy of Brahmaji. And when Brahmaji appeared, he gave him new body by the water from his Kamandalu. So what did Hiranyakashipu ask? Did he ask for, give me Krishna Bhakti? No. He asked for boons by which, one way or the other, he has all kinds of boons, thinking that I should not die. Why? Because if I die, then there is no sense gratification. I don't know what's going to happen next life. I want to enjoy this life. So if I don't die, then I can enjoy the senses to the fullest. He performed austerities without undergoing any sense gratification. Now he wanted sense gratification to the extreme. With not even dying, he asked for benediction that I should not get defeated by anybody else. Because his worry was, okay, I won't die, but maybe Indra can defeat me and capture me and put me in the prison. So what will I do? I'll be in the prison and not die. Then what will happen? So he asked, so I should not get defeated even by anybody. So I can enjoy my senses completely. And he enjoyed for how long? 5 years only. Prahlad Maharaj was 5 years old when Lord Nrsimhadev appeared and he killed Hiranyakashipu. 100 years of austerity and then 5 years of enjoyment, and then he got killed. 5 years of terrorizing the whole universe and whatever enjoyment he had. Even that wasn't complete, because before he sent Prahlad Maharaj to Gurukul, he was enjoying. But after he sent him to Gurukul and after he asked him what the subject matter that he studied, which is the best subject that he studied, and Prahlad Maharaj talked about devotion service to the Lord, and that's it. That was his sense gratification was completely over, because he could not control his mind. No more control of the senses. And same senses he controlled for 100 years while he was performing tapasya. So this is austerity in a mode of ignorance. At that time, Hiranyakashipu could have performed, even for less time if he had performed austerity, he could have achieved the lotus feet of Krishna. But that wasn't the same. So he performed austerities so he could defeat others. So that's why Prabhupada is saying that's austerity in a mode of ignorance. So it's a combination of ignorance and passion. You wanted to enjoy, but it's ignorance and passion, and no use at all. And Dhruv Maharaj, on the other hand, we study about Dhruv Maharaj also. He also went to the forest. Actually, he went to Madhuvan near Yamuna-ji in Mathura. And he performed austerities. He started off with passionate austerity in the mode of passion. He wanted a kingdom even better than Brahmaji. But first he got mercy of Narad Muni. And then secondly, he did not worship, he did not try to please any demigod in his worship. He was trying to please Vishnu, because his mother, who acted as his Path Pradharshak Guru, told him only Vishnu can help you. And where is Vishnu found? His mother said he's found in the jungle. That's all I heard. So he got the right guidance. So he went to worship. He went to please Lord Vishnu. And again, he got the mercy of Narad Muni. And he got this wonderful mantra to chant. And he performed austerities. Hiranyakashipu performed for 100 years, 100 celestial years. Dhruv Maharaj performed for only 6 months, and he pleased Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu appeared, and he asked Dhruv Maharaj, "What do you want? What benediction do you want?" Dhruv Maharaj said, I started off looking for broken pieces of glass, like kingdom and honor and respect and this and that. But now I've seen you, I feel like I've attained a diamond. I don't want anything. Lord Vishnu said, no, but you had the desire of kingdom better than even Brahmaji. So you will get that. And at the same time, you'll get my devotion service. And at the end of this life, you'll come back to me. So this is the real austerity. He performed austerity starting off with the mode of passion, but he pleased Lord Vishnu. He had the mercy of his guru, and then he got best of both the worlds. He got the best of the kingdom, and his planet is Dhruv Loka. Dhruv Loka is Vaikuntha Loka in the material world. It's not different from Vaikuntha Loka. And he ruled over for 30,000 years. And afterwards, he went back to Vaikuntha Loka. Not only he went, when Vishnu Dutas came to take him back, Dhruv Maharaj was ready to get on the chariot, but he held back. And Vishnu Dutas said, "What happened?" And he says, "No, I cannot leave my mother alone here because she's the one who guided me to go and serve Vishnu." Vishnu Duta said, "Look, your mother is going in a plane before you. So now you get on the plane and let's go." So this is the benefit of worshipping Vishnu, worshipping Krishna, doing any austerity for the pleasure of Vishnu or Krishna. It has immense benefits. And austerities, on the other hand, in passion or ignorance, it actually has no value. So Prabhupada, by mercy of Prabhupada, we are on the right track. And only thing is we have to keep on making more and more progress. That's all. Text 1. Datavyamiti yaddanam diyate anupakarine deshe kale cha patre cha taddanam satvikam svitam. Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. So charity given out of duty without expectation of any return at the proper time and place and to a worthy person. So many considerations. It's not like we give charity or dhan at the traffic signal and we think it's the best thing to do. It is good. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not the best. In the Vedic literature, charity given to a person engaged in spiritual activities is recommended. There is no recommendation for giving charity indiscriminately. Spiritual perfection is always a consideration. Therefore, charity is recommended to be given at a place of pilgrimage and at lunar or solar eclipses or at the end of the month, or to a qualified Brahman or a Vaishnava devotee or in temples. Such charity should be given without any consideration of return. Charity to the poor is sometimes given out of compassion, but if a poor man is not worth giving charity to, then there is no spiritual advancement. In other words, indiscriminate charity is not recommended in the Vedic literature. So charity has to be given. All the grihasthas who are making money and they have to give charity because whatever charity they give, there is some karma attached to our income. So charity has to be given to purify that income and purify our consciousness also. And charity has to be given properly, although properly given some conditions here. But at the same time, I read of a story where a king was giving charity, and he was like looking at the ground, and he was, I don't know if it was a king or somebody. He was looking at the ground. He wasn't looking at even the person he was giving the charity to, and something else he was doing. So the person asked, or so others asked, or the person who was receiving the charity asked, "Oh king, what are you doing?" King said, "I am giving you charity, but I should not believe that I am the owner of this wealth to give you the charity. I am nothing. All belongs to the Lord. Somehow it's in my care and I'm just giving you part of it. Nothing belongs to me." And he said, "I should not feel very proud when I'm giving to you. That's why I'm looking down. So that I should not even know who I gave it to. So this feeling of pride should not come in my heart. That I am giving." And actually thinking like that, who are we? And who are we that we can claim that I have this much money? Somehow, by our karmas and by mercy of Prabhupada, this much money have been put in our care. That's all. We don't own anything. We don't even own our body, what to speak of anything related to the body. So charity, what we give, is actually the purpose is to purify our consciousness, to take away from our mind that I am the proprietor or enjoyer of this property that I have, this money that I have. So if I, out of say maybe 10,000 rupees I have, and I give away say 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees, then I cannot enjoy those 1,000 rupees. So that consciousness has some purification now. So it got purified to certain extent. We can also think of that. Oh, I gave away 1,000 rupees, so I should go out and work hard and make more money. But the idea is to keep on giving charity, so this consciousness slowly gets purified. Earlier we read in Prabhupada's purports, Bhagavatam also, in Bhagavad Gita also he says someplace, that a householder should give 50% of his income to the right person, to a qualified Brahman or a Vaishnava, for propagation of Krishna consciousness movement. And actually that is mentioned in the scriptures. If one gives 50% of his income in charity, then he doesn't even need to perform any devotion service. It's so great if somebody can give 50% of his income. And actually once Tamal Krishna Maharaj explained that if somebody gives 50% of his income as in charity, then he has to become a devotee to live a simple life. Because only a devotee can live simple life, and after giving 50% of our income, there's no other option but to live simply. So although it's not required to do any devotion service, but to live off of 50% of our income, we need to become a devotee or a spiritual person. But there are instances people have given pretty much the whole thing they have, and they lived perfectly. But we are not expecting this from anybody here in the class, so don't worry. But the point is, charity has to be given, and to the right person at the right time, right place, with the right understanding and right mood. Text 21. Yattu prati upakarartham phalamuddeshya va punaha diyate cha pari klishtam taddanam rajasam smritam. But charity performed with the expectation of some return, or with the desire for fruitive results, or in a grudging mood, is said to be charity in the mode of passion. So, in a grudging mood, charity is sometimes performed for elevation to the heavenly kingdom, and sometimes with great trouble and with repentance afterwards. Why have I spent so much in this way? Charity is also sometimes given under some obligation at the request of superior. These kinds of charity are said to be given in the mode of passion. There are many charitable foundations which offer their gifts to institutions where sense gratification goes on. Such charities are not recommended in the Vedic scripture. Only charity in the mode of goodness is recommended. So it's funny, Prabhupada writes that charity is also sometimes given under some obligation or at the request of a superior. And if we give grudgingly, that charity is said to be in the mode of passion. So Radha Prabhu, we both, you and me, we have to be careful now. So we should not force devotees to give charity for the marriage of these girls in Barsana or other incidents. But anyway, say again, what did you say? Your connection is not very good.
I said we are not forcing, but we are
just announcing. Okay. Well, no matter what we do, we cannot cheat Prabhupada. So whatever Prabhupada has written is perfect. So anyway, we don't force, but we request everyone. And that's actually very good charity to the Brajvasis. Cannot be any more worthy recipient of charity. And what charity actually? These Brajvasis, they are more rich than we are anywhere. Materially, they might not have anything, but their heart is so big, and spiritually, obviously, they are Brajvasis, so no comparison there. So any charity we give over there, that's for our benefit, definitely. But at the same time, we should not give thinking of any fruitive results. We should just give. And then charity in the mode of ignorance. Adesh kale yaddanam apatrebhyascha diyate asatkritam avagyatam tat tamasam udahritam. And charity performed at an impure place, at an improper time, to unworthy persons or without proper attention and respect is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Contributions for indulgence in intoxication and gambling are not encouraged here. That sort of contribution is in the mode of ignorance. Such charity is not beneficial. Rather, sinful persons are encouraged. Similarly, if a person gives charity to a suitable person, but without respect and without attention, that sort of charity is also said to be in the mode of darkness. Wow. Even given to a suitable person, but without respect and without attention, that's in the mode of darkness. And more activities we do in the mode of darkness, then our consciousness becomes in the mode of ignorance only. So charity has to be done, but charity has to be done properly. Then it yields the correct results. I don't want to say it yields a desired result because, like we have studied, charity should not be given with any desires. Text 23. Om Tat Sat iti nirdesho brahmanastri vidah Brahmanastena Vedascha Yagyascha Vihita Puraha. From the beginning of creation, there were three words, Om Tat Sat, were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations were used by Brahmins while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. It has been explained that penance, sacrifice, charity, and food are divided into three categories: the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. But whether first class, second class, or third class, they're all conditioned, contaminated by the material modes of nature. When they are aimed at the Supreme, Om Tat Sat, means then it is aimed at the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Eternal. They become means for spiritual elevation. So anything we do, it has to be connected with the Supreme. So earlier days, it was everybody was trained to at least say Om Tat Sat, or at least even say Om while doing any activity. So the activity or the consciousness of the person remains spiritual. So that's a problem. They become means for spiritual elevation. In the scriptural injunction, such an objective is indicated. These three words, Om Tat Sat, particularly indicate the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Vedic hymns, the word Om is always found. So one who acts without following the regulations of the scriptures will not attain the absolute truth. He will get some temporary result, but not the ultimate end of life. The conclusion is that the performance of charity, sacrifice, and penance must be done in the mode of goodness. Performed in the mode of passion or ignorance, they are certainly inferior in quality. The three words Om Tat Sat are uttered in conjunction with the holy name of the Supreme Lord. For example, Om Tat Vishnu. Whenever a Vedic hymn or the holy name of the Supreme Lord is uttered, Om is added. This is the indication of Vedic literature. These three words are taken from the Vedic hymns. Om iti etat brahmano nedishtam nama indicates the first goal. Then Tattvam Asi indicates the second goal. And Saddeva Somya indicates the third goal. Combined, they become Om Tat Sat. So Om iti etat brahmano nedishtam nana. Nama means first goal, means we are approaching the Supreme Lord. And who's that? The Supreme Tattvam Asi, he is the one. Indicates the second goal. And Sad Eva Somya, and he is Sat. Sat means eternal. Formerly, when Brahma, the first created living entity, performed sacrifices, he indicated by these three words the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the same principle has always been followed by disciplic succession. So this hymn has great significance. Bhagavad Gita recommends, therefore, that any work done should be done for Om Tat Sat, or for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one performs penance, charity, and sacrifice with these three words, he is acting in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is a scientific execution of transcendental activities which enables one to return home back to Godhead. There is no loss of energy in acting in such a transcendental way. So when these activities, penance, austerity, charity, is performed along with saying of these Vedic hymns, uttering of these Vedic hymns, they become spiritual. So for us, we don't say Om Tat Sat. There's nothing wrong with that. We can say, but we've been given this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we chant the holy names of the Lord along with any activity we do. So then there is no problem. But still, we should avoid activities in the mode of ignorance completely and passion, whatever we can avoid. Text 24. Tasmadom iti udahritya yagyadan tapah kriya pravartante vidhanmukta satatam brahmavadinam. Therefore, transcendentalists undertaking performances of sacrifice, charity, and penance in accordance with scriptural regulations begin always with Om to attain the Supreme. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. The lotus feet of Vishnu are the supreme devotional platform. The performance of everything on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead assures the perfection of all activity. So when we dedicate all our activities at the lotus feet of the Lord, by either chanting Om Tat Sat, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam, or by chanting Hare Krishna, then the activities become devotional or spiritual. Taditiyam abhisandhaya phalam yagyadan tapah kriya dana kriyascha vividha kriyante moksha kankshibhi. Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the words tat. With the words tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement. To be elevated to the spiritual position, one should not act for any material gain. Act should be performed for the ultimate gain of being transferred to the spiritual kingdom, back to home, back to Godhead. So idea is not to give charity or perform sacrifice or penance or austerities in the material modes, because they still bind us to the material world. So the idea is to do spiritual activities, so we go back home, back to Godhead. Text 26, 27. Sadbhave sadhu bhave cha saditi etat prayujyate prashaste karmani तथा सच शब्द पार्थ युज्यते यज्ञ तपसी दाने च स्थिति सदति च उच्यते कर्म चैव तदर्थीयम सद इति एव अभिधीयते. The absolute truth is the objective of devotional sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat, as are all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which, true to the absolute nature, are performed to please the Supreme Person, the Son of Pritha. The words prashaste karmani, or the prescribed duties, indicate that there are many activities prescribed in the Vedic literature which are purificatory processes, beginning from the time of conception up to the end of one's life. Such purificatory processes are adopted for the ultimate liberation of the living entity. In all such activities, it is recommended that one vibrate Om Tat Sat. The words Sadbhave and Sadhu Bhave indicate the transcendental situation. Acting in Krishna consciousness is called Sattva, and one who is fully conscious of the activities of Krishna consciousness is called a Sadhu. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the transcendental subject matter becomes clear in the association of the devotees. The words used are Satam Prasangat. Without good association, one cannot achieve transcendental knowledge. When initiating a person or offering the sacred thread, one vibrates the words Om Tat Sat. Similarly, in all kinds of performance of yajna, the object is the supreme Om Tat Sat. The word Tad Arthiyam further means offering service to anything which represents the Supreme, including such service as cooking and helping in the Lord's temple, or any other kind of work for broadcasting the glories of the Lord. These supreme words, Om Tat Sat, are thus used in many ways to perfect all activities and make everything complete. So all activities charity, austerity, penance, sacrifice, food, faith, everything is complete, or everything becomes spiritualized when you chant the words Om Tat Sat, or for us, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So text 28. Ashadhya hutam dattam tapasa taptam kutam kritam chayat asad iti uchyate pat nacha tat pretya no iha. Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in the Supreme or Son of Pritha is impermanent. It's called asat and is useless both in this life and the next. Anything done without the transcendental objective, whether it be sacrifice, charity, or penance, is useless. Therefore, in this verse, it is declared that such activities are abominable. Everything should be done for the Supreme in Krishna consciousness. Without such faith and without the proper guidance, there can never be any fruit. In all the Vedic scriptures, faith in the Supreme is advised in the pursuit of all Vedic instructions. The ultimate goal is understanding of Krishna. No one can obtain success without following this principle. Therefore, the best course is to work from the very beginning in Krishna consciousness under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. That's the way to make everything successful. And if we remember, we are reading in Srimad Bhagavatam, the demigods were praying, and the last words when they prayed was, even to carry out their activities, their duties of controlling the material nature, their respective departments, they're praying to Krishna to give them the knowledge and the strength to perform their services. So this is what we have to learn, and this is what Prabhupada is saying. Everything that we do, we have to remember that we are doing it for Krishna. In the conditional state, people are attracted to worshipping demigods, ghosts, or yakshas like Kubera. The mode of goodness is better than the mode of passion and ignorance, but one who takes directly to Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all three modes of material nature. Although there is a process of gradual elevation, if one, by the association of pure devotees, takes directly to Krishna consciousness, that is the best way. And that is recommended in this chapter. To achieve success in this way, one must first find the proper spiritual master and receive training under his direction. Then one can achieve faith in the Supreme. When that faith matures in course of time, it is called love of God. This love is the ultimate goal of the living entities. One should therefore take to Krishna consciousness directly. That is the message of this 17th chapter. So in the end, Prabhupada just summarizes everything. He says, okay, one has to take to Krishna consciousness. So why go through Om Tat Sat and so many other processes? Just take directly. But taking directly to Krishna consciousness doesn't mean that we don't do yajna, dan, and tapa. That is to be done even for perfect beings, even for elevated, advanced people. So yajna, dan, and tap has always to be done. How it is to be done, that's a question. So we have to continuously chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then we perform our activities. And by mercy of Krishna, by mercy of Prabhupada, all the activities will bear fruitful results. Hare Krishna. So we completed the 17th chapter as well. There's only one chapter left, and that's the longest chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Hopefully, we'll cover it before the Gita Jayanti day. So we have to push for it. So anyway, any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for the class. And one comment that you should continue telling us that there is some donation needed to be given, because if you people will not tell, then how can we do such thing? It will be very difficult for us to find the right place to donate things. Thank you so much for it, Prabhuji.
But the only thing is, don't give it grudgingly. Give it
No,
happily. Whatever you give.
no, Prabhuji, that is what we want to give it happily only. But if you will not tell, then where should we give to the signal guy? That is why. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mata.
Well, Radha Prabhuji is doing very good job for letting us know Vigrahastha that where we have to give. We should be aware at least.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and the way he makes the whole appeal, it looks so appealing.
Yes.
So, any other questions or comments? So I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.